Nothing is more American than the assembly line. Since the time of Henry Ford, American success has been built on these lines. It has allowed us to go from an agrarian nation to one of the greatest industrialized nations on the planet. Nothing is more important to American success. Hold on a second. The assembly line is excellent for manufacturing products, but it fails in America's public school systems. Currently, we treat students like they're all the same, but we fail to acknowledge any differences in learning abilities and styles. It's time that we recognize that all students are not the same, that their individual needs cannot be met by an overly standardized and impersonal system. Fixing the problems with America's education system is a national issue, but the problems can't be solved with expensive and ineffective charter schools. It's time that we move away from the assembly line and look to something else that's made America great, an ability to innovate, have new ideas, and move forward to face our problems. There are no better innovators than the teachers themselves, the men and women who work every day in the classroom side by side with these students, who know their problems, strengths, and weaknesses firsthand. We believe if given the resources, these men and women can solve the problems facing America's school system and make it more tailored to meet the needs of our students. And what better place for this innovation to begin than in our very own Ann Arbor Public Schools?
Our proposal is to create a group called Education Innovation.
So one of the things that I noticed upon coming here to the University of Michigan was that a surprising number of my peers actually, some of them were not very well prepared for school, for the university coursework. The high school education in this country is actually lagging behind that of other countries. That's something that we need to address, really.
With an increasing emphasis on test scores and overall just depersonalization, we have basically just made it about numbers. It's no longer about the actual students.
The assembly line really fails to accommodate the differences between students, and it doesn't recognize that not every kid in America is the same.
We have made our schools like assembly lines, and we're treating our students as if they were cars, but this isn't the case. Students have their own individual needs, and they're all unique.
They're assuming all students are the same, but one size doesn't fit all when it comes to students.
And charter schools were one alternative solution that was proposed.
Once upon a time, traditional public schools were the only kind of public school. They received all of the funding, and they were the sole focus of America's public education system, and everyone was happy. But one day, charter schools appeared, and suddenly the traditional public schools found themselves competing with these charter schools for funding that used to be all theirs. These charter schools had these huge marketing efforts and would steal away all the traditional public schools' students, and all their funding would go with them. These charter schools failed to fix any of the problems in America's public education system, and just let the traditional public schools hanging out to dry with little funding.
They actually did not work out very well. But we can do better than this.
This is where we come in. Education Innovation wants to provide funds for teachers with great ideas for their classrooms so that we can help fix the problems with America's education system without having to spend unnecessary dollars on charter schools. Education Innovation is almost like a Kickstarter within itself, but it's a Kickstarter specifically for teachers. The idea is that these local Ann Arbor teachers would come to us and say, hey, listen, I have this awesome idea for my classroom. I have all these kids that are struggling with reading, and I think that if I do this, I can help them to succeed better.
We propose giving funding directly to the teachers who have innovative ideas that can actually fix this.
They're the ones who have these ideas of how to better use education systems and how to make a better environment, but the problem is they don't have the money. So what we're trying to do is give them money for these really great ideas to better the education system.
What we need is your support and your donations to help us fund the ideas of our local teachers. They are the ones who know what's best for their students, and they are the ones who know how to improve our public school system from the inside out.